With the healing hands, we are speaking of those that can lay their hands onto someone and you receive waves of heat and energy coming through. And you almost instantly can feel this state of relaxation, like a still point. In our earliest memory as Icelandic people, we have had healers, and we have spoke of those that have healing hands. And this information and writing about these people with healing hands are in literature that is over 1,000 years old, that was preserved and written here in Iceland. We grow up with this tradition, and it is very popular, very strong. With the healing hands, we are speaking of those that can lay their hands onto someone and you receive waves of heat and energy coming through. And you almost instantly can feel this state of relaxation, like a still point. And in this space of relaxation and still point, the energetic healer is helping to balance the energetic body and help support the other person's self-healing. And this is very simple and compassionate and kind work. These healers are called on to very often and also work with the medical field in Iceland. Because it's so much part of our culture, we see it as something that works alongside of it. That when someone is working through healing in the modern medical field, they do recommend meeting an Icelandic healer to help promote the healing that is taking place. And even in the most difficult and challenging situations, the healer's presence and support has been very, very important for somebody to walk with their experience. We have the healers that lay their hands on their bodies, but we also have healers that sit with a person and goes into a state of trance and works with the energetic body. There is also a tradition of distance healing. We believe in strong words. And in later time, when Christianity came to Iceland, we realized the power of prayer. But with our heathen background, it might look different, but we are asking for the best intention for a person. And we are often called on to send these prayers to people, distance healing, and many travel to me to receive healing hands. So that is the work. My mother is a healer, and she is a very famous healer here that learned from her mother and learned from her grandmother, and her grandmother learned from her grandmother. So we learned this is weaved into our daily life, but also it becomes like this family tradition. And I learned from the example of my family, and also just in my upbringing of raising me to be a good presence in this world. And so many families are sharing this in Iceland and creating so many healers just in the presence of being. So that is the basics of it. I will be more of the one that will sit next to the patient or the client. I mean the client. I will be the one to sit next to, and I will be going into a trance state to work with the individual's helpers and ancestors that it connects with. I will be the one to receive messages to pass to the client that can help the person, give a good advice and support. In these trance states, I will use my voice and vibration to do the healing work, and I use specific tools and sounds. And there is sometimes involved healing with touch in very particular situations, because when I am in trance, I am taking in spirit, and it can be too intense for some individuals. We are not working with intensity. We are working from a very soft place. We often do this, me and my mother, that in certain circumstances, she will lay her hands and help the person be receptive to what is coming through with me. It is to soften the impact and help it come through into the body. Make it more of a pleasant experience. Healing can be very difficult. So we need a lot of love for that. That's wonderful. And especially in Iceland, where we walk alongside the spirit world, which is very, how you can say, it's very expanded. It is, we have everything from the small beings to giants and to primordial spirits, and then the spirits of people and animals, and this goes on and on and on. Seiður. Seiður is something that there are problems in translation. We have a very different language than the English language. So I will try in a few words. Seiður is something that comes from our intuition. It comes from our root. And to the women who especially work with Seiður, it's a very particular female practice. It comes from our womb. And that's where we get our power from. In Seiður, we would say this is the part that we do a bit of conjuring to hold space. We are creating space with dance and with song, with intention and many symbolisms. And we go into the Seiður with an idea of what we are going to do. We can do a Seiður that is surrounding me as the oracle to help lure in the spirits that we want to speak to, and also to protect us. So this could be part of the ceremony around the oracle work. But it is also, if we have some work like to protect a waterfall, we might create a circle and make a Seiður with the intention to receive help from the spirit world to help humanity change their plans and protect the nature. So it's a ceremonial concept and a bridge to the spirit world to help us. And the spirit world, how does it look to me? It is part of my daily life, from when I dream until I wake. I don't see a certain form around it. I just see different waves of light and frequency. And in certain lights and frequency, you can see into the world of the nature spirit. And then you can also set up a situation where you raise your frequency to see the giants. And what we do often to communicate and see the other worlds is by sitting outside, and we call it útiseta, outside sitting, where we just breathe into our bodies and absorb the nature around us and listen. And often they will start appearing to us, coming to us, communicating. We're just building a relationship. What else I can say about the spirit world? Well, we believe in the universal cosmic tree with all the lives and all the worlds within it. that's one form we can maybe use as a visualization, is the cosmic tree that was made out of the body of a cosmic giant. So the eyelashes became rocks, and the brain became the clouds, and the blood became the water. So this is an animistic tradition, and we see the breath of life in everything, and that we come from one being and one tree, and we are all seeds of that tree. So we can also reflect the cosmic tree within our own bodies. And in that tree is all the spirit worlds also, the different realms of the lower and the higher and the center. And the center is the human world. It is preserved in a poem written in Iceland called Völuspá, the prophecy of the Völva, who we call the big one, Háttvirta Völva, the highest and most respected. Her voice is the sound of the womb of the universe, the all-knowing, the destructive, creative, nurturing being. So the Völva brings her prophecy because she remembers the beginning of the world. And this is in a beautiful poem that was written down around the 12th century. But the roots of this poem is so much older and held in oral tradition. It can be traced to the Vedic tradition of India. And you can find correlating stories in the Rig Veda that is 8,000 years old more. So this is a world story, a very old one, and a human story also. The basics of Völuspá, you can read Völuspá in many translations, but she is telling of the creation of the earth and how it built up with the gods and the humans, and also when it collapsed and burned. And then it will speak of when the tree rises from the ashes. So it's always a cycle that we can take internally as a teaching about all these different cycles we go through life. The tree is the teacher about how we are. It tells of a world story and a personal story. But I would like to say, just really quickly, that in the beginning in our creation story, we had the ice world of the north and the fire world of the south. And in the center was the black hole. We can say this is like a birthing passage, because the hot from the south start melting the north, and there revealed itself in the birthing passage a cosmic giant called Ymir, which means sound, vibration, sound. Then we had three giant gods, Odin, Vilje, Ve. Odin means spirit. Vilje is the willpower, and Ve is the sacred place. These three brothers, they created the world tree and the 9 worlds by taking apart Ymir. And when they were done creating the world, they found 2 trees on the beach. They called Askur and Embla, ash tree and an elm tree. And these brothers, Odin, Vilje, and Ve, breathed life into the trees and created the first humans. They came from the seed of the Yggdrasil. And then starts the tale of humanity and the relationship between the upper and lower worlds, and the relations with all the other worlds around us, the giants and the ice giants, the fire giants, these primordial energies that we say are our oldest ancestors, is nature herself. We're always connected to that source through the world tree and through the breath. We are always connected with spirit through the breath.